we're going to reflect in terms of what role people played. And because this is a life and death issue, and there are two elements of life and death here. The one element is the people who are actually affected. Right. But the other element is the people who are affected by the people who are affected. Because there's family members who lose loved ones, and their pain endures. It carries on for a lifetime. So when you mock that kind of situation, ridicule that kind of situation, disregard that kind of situation, you send a message that when we go back to review what role you played, and there's going to be no statute of limitations on this, you're going to find yourself in a very serious predicament in the future in terms of how people are going to view what you did, because you've recorded it. I mean, have a look.
Yeah, I've got it here now, actually. So let's take a look.
It's young people.
Have you got sound?
They care less about the seriousness of the virus. They're out enjoying themselves. In a street language,
Is this
I would
after
say
the
they don't give
lockdown?
a fuck.
No, this is now. This is in the last few days.
Oh,
They're just having fun.
But they're not supposed to be doing this.
This is what is a Kailicha, guys.
is Khayelitsha an
It's what is-
underprivileged area?
It's
Yeah, it's a
thousands.
township.
It's young
Yeah.
people in their thousands. Look at this South Africa.
There's a lot of cars
Look at
here.
this South Africa. Look at this. Look at this South Africa.
Like,
Listen to what they're saying. Turn it up.
Oh,
Listen
yeah.
to what they're saying.
they're like celebrating it. They're like, maybe.
So I reckon you got to have some sense of naivety.
Yeah, that's what
That's
I'm
one element. Okay. So you never pay attention to the news. You don't really know what's going on, and you're not taking it seriously. Which in some ways doesn't justify things, but you can say, okay. I mean, I don't understand how you can not know what's going on around Corona. But when you mock death, like they have done there, all right, if I find you and catch you in a group of people huddling together and having a beer, and I come up to you and I say, hey guys, you really shouldn't, you should be keeping a distance, da-da-da-da-da, that's one thing. And you're like, oh, shucks, all right, I just really needed a drink, or whatever the case may be. It doesn't justify it, but, there's an explanation. That's mocking it.
Right.
You know about it, you're singing about it, which means that you actually don't care about the consequences that it's created. You find it like a joke. That's dangerous.
Yeah, I think
I don't know how you're processing the world. I don't know how they're processing the world.
neither do I. But I'm gonna try argue on their behalf, because I
Do
feel
that.
like there's elements of it that has to do with how it's like they're showing that they don't care about
That's mocking.
it's affecting all of us, but then they're living in a pandemic of their own that's affecting them, that on our day-to-day lives we technically to an extent don't care about, end quote. And that's I don't justify like singing
I hear you.
about it and trying to hurt people,
I hear you.
but I think it's a lot of it coming from
Joke.
like the idea that
I have a problem.
I have a problem too, you're experiencing what I'm experiencing, and now we're kind of on the same level.
Yeah. Look,
Um,
that's a good explanation. You know me. That's we talked about the money thing, right?
Right.
The other thing that I struggle with is the gray. The one black and white person. It's either right or wrong, and that is the gray. And it's important that you've expressed that gray because it is a gray, and it's a fair gray, because to your point, these are people who've probably lived in pretty deprived situations all their lives. They've managed to afford a drink. They've gone out and they're like, screw Corona.
Yeah.
Hey, have you seen my life?
Right.
Fair enough. But I think, and I don't want to finish that and say but I think in the world of processing the world, I think we've got to digest what you've said, but we've also got to digest what is actually going on and see where the common middle ground is. I don't necessarily, to your point, I don't think mocking it and singing and is anything valuable in their world. But we do need to remember, and I think hopefully this is what changes.